So here is another selection from my collection. Let's start down here. Very crude edge. Someone tried to shape this one into an arrowhead. This one, like, if I can get the camera to focus. Here, give me 1 second. Okay, moved everything in better lighting. Perhaps we can. There we go. So this is kind of a lucky flake. And you just gotta put the little notches in there. And there's this one, kind of the same thing. Nice flake. Work as arrowhead. Notch at the end. Good to go. So these three are not artifacts. And you might be able to tell, at least once you start to look at the other ones, that I made these myself. And this is a good start. This might actually become something good, but it's not easy to do this kind of work. I guess you gotta learn your skills. And we got over here, these are gar scales. Which have been used as arrow points. These ones I know where I got them, and they're all in one big pile. This is like part of them. I found hundreds, and they're all in the same spot. It was in a bulldozed up area next to a lake, and while they're old enough to have been used for arrowheads, they never were. My best guess. Then we've got this piece. This one is pretty interesting. I've never seen an arrowhead before like this. It's made out of some kind of quartz rock, but very quartz. And then it seems to have turquoise inclusions on it. Now, I may have found this, and it was just so bizarre that I've forgotten where and how it came into my collection. The way it's been done, it looks genuine. It looks old. But I still can't guarantee that this isn't something modern that somebody made. And it's really even hard to tell whether that coloration is actual turquoise or if it's just like some kind of paint or something. I haven't dared scrape it because I don't want to mess it up if it actually is turquoise. So now we have some more definitively genuine articles. Unfortunately, a lot of these pieces I can't say for sure where I got them. I can say a general area. I just don't know the exact site. Most of these things I've gotten from 2 sites, but I've also gotten pieces from other places as well, but mostly from 2 places. And a lot of the stuff is from Utopia, which is a town in Texas, deep in the hill country. And there's a little hill by a creek down there, and I found like hundreds of pieces from that area, and most of these that you see here are from there. And you can see they're all fragments, but they're pretty nice fragments. This one here, well, here, let's start with the most complete one is probably this one, or potentially this one. This one's nice, even though most of it's missing. But this one is the one that impresses me the most. Because what I can tell, it used to be something that had like a tapered edge here, but then widened out back this way. It could have been a knife or a spear. And over here, this one, it's hard to say how much is missing, but I think what the important part is missing is there used to be like a spike here, which you could see might be really good for doing some fine cutting work. It's unfortunate that part is missing. And before we get to these bigger pieces, let's go back over here. We've got these ones, which have obviously been worked by somebody that knows how to carve flint. It's really hard to see what they might have once been or have been trying to have been shaped into. They're mostly in this particular collection because of their color, which is kind of hard to see here. But they have a lot of reds and pinks compared to everything else here. And then we have these two. They're strange for different reasons, and for similar reasons. This one, it's definitely some kind of church, but it's just incredibly thin and uniform in color. And it's got a part that's been broken off here. And it looks like that's a break there. And also here. So it's almost like a triangular point, which could have been a tool, an arrowhead, a spear point. It could have been a lot of things. Just would have been really interesting to know what it originally looked like when it was first made. Oh, wow. That happened. This one, also very unique in color. Kind of hard to see exactly what the idea was with this. It's definitely been worked on, but it really doesn't seem like much has been broken off, except for maybe there. There might have been a part back here. It's just, you know, it's not really shaped very well in any interesting way. It might have been practical for whoever used it to begin with, but it looks like bone to me. And touching it and feeling it in my hands, and just the way it's been cut, it looks like flint or chert. these guys. So these could be hand tools, or they might have been mounted on something. And you know, you get them in your hands and you kind of can feel what they're good for, but then you don't even have to do that. Let's see if we can get it. That's the working edge on this tool. Like, that isn't even a working edge, it's just how it's been fractured. But this edge is the part of the tool that does the work. It's probably just a piece that had so much garbage in it. Like, this is either like, it's like fossilized bone, or almost like it's pumice. It's like there's not really much use in trying to break this down into other smaller pieces. So somebody just put a good working edge on it right there and used it for any number of purposes. Now this piece is similar. It's got a lot of breaks and stuff where pieces have been chopped off of it. But it's only got one real business in right here. And it really has a good, comfortable feel from many angles. I could see breaking down a deer carcass with this pretty easily. You could chop through tendons to get bones from bone, and I think you could even cut bone with this. You could also do a lot of other things with this tool, but if you're just doing some light scraping, you don't need this weight. That's why I think it's more of like a cutting tool. And you could even use it as an axe if it were like mounted on a lever. Also known as a handle. And then we got this one, which is kind of similar, except more like a cleaver. I can get the camera to focus. Well, also a really good hand feel. I also like something you easily mount on a handle for leverage. And you could do a lot with this. I mean, make a vicious weapon. I don't really think that's what it was even used for. Oh yeah, and then back to this big lump of this is not an artifact at all. I don't know what happened there, but this has not been worked or shaped or anything. This is just like from a quarry. But this is a big piece of chert that might have been broken down into much of these elements that you see here. It's got different types of colors and inclusions. Yeah, but from this comes this. Yeah, except for that and that.